It's time for a closet purge. This is a thing. It's a big thing. It's a lot. Like, I took the clothing that was like in storage in the basement, and it's up here now. And I'm about to pull my entire closet and everything under my bed. It's a lot. I don't throw out clothing very easily. As I collect all of the clothing from various places in the house, let us take a dive into history and read from 1958's Amy Vanderbilt's Complete Book of Etiquette, The Guide to Gracious Living, page 193, beginning with Suits. I am quite sure we have a possibility of reading strong statements that infuriate our modern sensibilities, so please do remember that this is simply an exercise in information gathering and not a desire to return to vintage values. Suits. Every wardrobe needs at least one good wool or tweed tailored suit. It should be cut on classic lines so that with minor shortenings and lengthenings from season to season, it will be good from 5 to 7 years or even longer. A cheap dressmaker suit cut in the latest fashion color is an extravagant abomination. A good tailored suit should cost, usually at least $70, and be sufficiently conservative in color, line, and fabric that is entirely unremarkable. A tailored suit is a uniform. A good dressy suit is a short run extravagance, nice only if you can afford it. I need a cookie. Okay, so this is a little intense. This is the result of being 40 years old and having multiple different massive changes in my life in the last 10 years. Having two babies, having nursing, extended nursing, a lot of different activities that have come in and out of my life, the weight fluctuations that come with babies, pregnancy, losing weight, exercising. I had multiple surgeries to recover from, and that really affects your wardrobe and the kinds of things that you're willing to buy and wear. So, this is going to be an attempt at a wardrobe that actually reflects my reality and that releases fantasy Nora. Funny enough, that's going to actually result in more room in my closet for true vintage, the vintage that I'm sewing, and pare down the parts of my life that I don't I don't need 5 different outfits for hiking. I need one. I don't do multiple days of hiking in a row. I'm not a backpacker that's going to go out into the woods and go do that for a couple of days. That's a different lifetime for me. So at this point, I need one good solid hiking outfit with plenty of layers, and then everything else can leave. I need a workout wardrobe. I do work out. That's something that's a thing. And I'm not going to do a vintage wardrobe for working out. I'm not going to do that. And I need a lot more room for my sewing. Like, a lot more room. I need actual space in my closet that's empty. And I need loungewear. That's a huge thing for me. The perfect tailored suit can be worn both in town and in the country with a change of accessories. Shoes may be walking pumps for town, not high heels, and ties, moccasins, or any other solid country shoe out of town. Beware the effect of too light a shoe in color and heft with a dark tweed. The feet should be darkly shod, too, to furnish a base for the soundness of the suit. Two-tone shoes, especially of black and white or white and brown, should be avoided with tweed suits, except those in pastel shades, and should not be worn in town. Two sheer blouses look just as bad as two delicate shoes with tweeds. A slip-over sweater or a wool shirt of some heavy fabric with body is best with tweed for the country. In the city, a simple non-sheer tailored blouse with a round collar or a turnover collar on a shirt neckline is most appropriate. White is usually best, or soft pastel tones. Avoid brilliant contrasts which destroy the effect of the classic suit, which should be, as I said, unremarkable. Underthings. Underwear should be simple, washable, and of excellent quality, devoid of imitation lace, sleazy ribbons, and machine embroidery. Handmade real silk or fine nylon underwear is lovely, but machine-made underwear of good quality can do nicely too in a well-conceived wardrobe. Nylon, unless it is the perforated knit variety, is hot in summer as perspiration cannot evaporate beneath it readily. Sheer cotton, fresh, crisp every day, is the coolest during a hot spell. Fine quality silk, well made with strong French seams, costs a lot initially but can last years with careful laundering. Cheap rayon, knit or woven, can look fairly good when you buy it, but proves expensive in that it did not keep up its finish and becomes limp and drab after a few washings. The most comfortable girdle is the two-way stretch, which allows free body movement and which is made, at least partly, of lastex. Its loose weave permits evaporation of perspiration. Any girdle that pulls you in unnaturally into some semblance of the currently fashionable figure is likely to make you so uncomfortable and irritable that any striking effect your new clothing can make is nullified by your tense expression. If you are conscious of your girdle, it's the wrong one for you. The most you should ask of a girdle, anyhow, is that it hold in your stomach somewhat, give a smooth line to your hips, and support your stockings. If it does more than that, it is merely displacing fat, pushing it from one spot, say your abdomen, to another, to your thighs or your diaphragm. And don't think that the new bulges don't show. Brassieres have come a long way since Aunt Nellie was an adolescent and they bound her flat with a straight tight bra, which eventually broke down her muscles and, in her otherwise attractive 40s, made her droopy. Young people, brassieres are not necessary except perhaps for active sports, unless support of abnormally heavy breasts is actually needed. For problem figures, the various types of new brassieres may be carefully fitted with wire, but never pressing on the soft tissues. No woman need look droopy today, either in a dress or a bathing suit, or flash-chested either. Ready-made clothes fit better if the bust line is something like the ideal, even if this approach to perfection is considerably helped along by uplifts, or falsies, or both. Dresses. Here, considering to what degree fashion plays apart from season to season, we can talk about line and fabric, color and suitability rather than what is current at the moment. The basic rules of good grooming don't change. The first rule is to accept what you are. If you are of medium height, 5'3" or so, with small bones, the heavy masculine fabrics and bulkiness of line are never for you, no matter how much they are in style at the moment. You should dress to the lines of your body. If the line from the hip to your knee is relatively short, even if you have moderately long legs and an average waist, you will look overdressed in heavy tweeds, loosely cut clothes, large inverted or box pleats. Any next to the body wools should be very lightweight. Dress coats should be fitted and sports coats only moderately loose, or you will seem lost in bolts of material. Most ready-made clothes are designed for the model figure, the long-legged, long-thighed boned, and long-waisted type. Good grief, how long are we? And long-waisted type who can drape herself and look chic. The little woman, or even the medium-height one, should choose clothes which have been scaled to her proportions, or she should have her clothes carefully altered to suit her figure, first avoiding too heavy fabrics or too dramatic lines. On the contrary, the tall, rangy creature should avoid too fine, too closely fitted materials and concentrate on bulky, rough-textured fabrics, loose line, pleats, bold plaids and stripes, contrast in skirt and blouse, tall, even, staggering hats, and those handsome tongue brogues that make the little woman seem rooted to the good earth. A short or middling woman should strive for continence of line. A red hat, a white jacket, and a navy skirt will cut her in 3 pieces. She can have the patriotic effect if that's what she yearns for, by having jacket and skirt the same blue, by having a white blouse, relieve the neckline, and by trimming her blue hat with red cockade and carrying a not too large red bag. Large, obvious accessories such as huge bags, brightly colored gloves, bulky costume jewelry, and bright box jackets, heavily embroidered, enormous hats are only for big women, preferably the big boned ones. The slender, medium height woman can get away with one of those things at a time occasionally, but she should be aware of the dumpy effect they can give. It is so hard trying to determine. Hi. 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 Who's your puppy? Who's your good boy? Who's your good boy? Who's your good boy? It is so hard trying to determine what it is that you actually need and to remove the sentimentality attached to certain things or old ways of thinking of, well, of course I need. I think I've done a better job than normal, but I did just do the laundry in the house. So now I have this. It's another basket full of laundry. Thankfully, some of it is my daughter's. So I'm going to dump that, hang things up, throw out whatever it is that I'm not going to keep. I've got about 6 trash bags full of clothing now. This worries me. I really wanted to carve out like a foot to 3 feet in my closet to provide area for incoming sewing. So what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to go through the laundry. I'm going to get that put away. And I'm absolutely going to get the bags that are like, no, you really don't need that. I'm going to get those out of my house as quickly as possible. And then I am going to actually go up into my closet and I'm going to pull the shoes and I'm going to pull everything off the bottom part and the hats. And I'm actually going to dust. And I'm going to grab the vacuum and I'm going to vacuum out the bottom of the closet as well because it's very rare that it's empty. So I might as well take advantage of this. Then I think tomorrow I will start taking things upstairs and do it by section and give myself, this is where it belongs, this is the space that I have, and see what actually happens there. This was not a bad purge. This was a pretty big one, so even if it's not quite as much room as I was hoping, it's definitely better than it was. I feel rather overwhelmed. Oh, don't forget about this. That's my wardrobe. I also have some bins. I'm going to finish putting away the family's laundry, and I'm going to make dinner, and I'm going to think about this tomorrow. I think I've done enough for today, and I think I'll do a better job, and tomorrow, I'll deal with this tomorrow. I'm done for the day. I've been doing this all day. I have decision fatigue, which is real, and okay, I'll be back.